Jacksonville. This coach's Jacksonville Jaguars just had a terrific win in Tennessee, and their path to win the division is real. It's there because they take on the Titans again, and they have more games left to win outside of division. And their quarterback is just lighting it up. He looks terrific, and that's Trevor Lawrence, quarterback of the Jacksonville Jaguars, whose coach is on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line. Always a pleasure to chat with Doug Pederson right here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, Coach?
Hey, Rich. I'm doing extremely well. How about you guys?
I am doing fine. What was that like in the locker room after that big win in Tennessee?
Yeah, it was exciting. The Jaguars haven't won up in Nashville in some time, and so it was exciting for our ownership and for the team to go up there and face a really good football team. They're well coached. Got a great relationship with Coach Vrabel, and he does a great job there, and very disciplined group. But it was exciting. Guys were pumped and jacked up, and as they should be after a big win.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Coach. Well, you were coaching there in Philadelphia all those years when Derrick Henry would come up with a 100-yard first half against Jacksonville. You'd say, 200's right around the corner, and that did not happen. 2 yards after halftime. What was your adjustment? What did you do in that?
Well, just like you said, I was saying myself on the sideline.
Right.
But kind of like, here we go. But, honestly, defense did a great job of just, we added an extra D lineman there in the beginning of the third quarter when they wanted to get into their big personnel people on offense and really helped us kind of control the line of scrimmage. And when you're playing a guy like Derrick Henry, it takes all 11 on defense to really buy into the fact that it's going to be a physical football game. And I thought that's what our guys did. They did a really nice job after those first really 2-3 possessions of the football game, settled in, controlled their gaps, and really just kind of bought into, the nature of being a physical football game and got the job done.
Well, also, we're all of us, it's a quarterback-driven league, and we're focused on your, I guess, second to last first overall selection there when you weren't there, and Trevor Lawrence, and we'll get to him in a second. But Travon Walker had a big moment in this game with a sack force fumble that I think got the momentum going in your direction and stopped Tennessee's ability to continue to just maybe focus on Derrick Henry. What about his development this year you can tell me about Walker?
Yeah, he's gotten incrementally better each week. Some of the things that we did and probably what teams saw or what we saw, maybe what you saw too in this game, is we moved him inside a little bit, played that 3 technique, put his hand in the ground, used his length and athleticism, some explosion coming off the ball. He did a great job on that, on that sack fumble right there to really, slow them down because we hadn't really stopped them up to that point, and then the offense was able to capitalize and put the ball in the end zone on that drive. And he's just developing and maturing. He's getting better each week. He's working on different moves and coming out of a 3-point stance versus a 2-point stance, just working on his game, working on his craft. Great kid, humble kid, very quiet kid, but you put him out on the football field and you see his personality show, and he had a tremendous game on Sunday.
Jacksonville Jaguars head coach Doug Pederson here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's get to your quarterback. What a game he had, man. When you see him play like that, certainly he was hurt the week before. What goes through your brain knowing that knowing that this is what you wanted? You wanted this. You want to see this development, and you need to see this development. And now you are. What is going through your head, Coach?
Yeah, Rich, for him not to practice twice on Wednesday and Thursday last week and really get all the mental reps and to come out and perform the way he did for a second-year player and really a first-year player for us, obviously, is a tremendous feat. And this guy, he just wants to be coached. He wants to improve. He wants to learn. He wants to grow as a quarterback. And I think the one thing that I appreciate, with him right now is he's taking care of the football. He's running the system, running the offense, dispersing the ball where it needs to go, whether it's to Zay Jones a couple weeks ago or Christian Kirk, and then of course Evan Ingram on Sunday. It doesn't really matter. He's a sharp guy and played through and is going to continue to play through injury each week, especially in his foot. But just a great performance for him and his development. It's sort of a step in the right direction, obviously. But very impressed with how he handled his week of preparation, and it showed on Sunday.
Well, I mean, like if I had I think I spoke to you at the very outset of the season. If I had shown you his stat line, like off air, hey, week 14, this is what he's going to do, and this is how he's going to look, and this is how he's going to play, you'd have signed for it, right? I mean, like this is what you're hoping for, and we're in this league where we want it now, we want it yesterday, we should have had it yesterday. And now we're seeing it with him. So I asked this question. That's my long wind up for this pitch. Is he there? Would you say he's there? Is he there, Coach?
He's on his way to there. I would say he still has some room to grow, and get better. But he's definitely taken steps in the right direction. You go back and look at the beginning of our season, and we were a little bit careless with the football, and situational ball wasn't quite there yet. Just understanding details of the game and understanding situations of the game, and this is where his growth has come. And honestly, Rich, I think and I believe that interception he threw on the goal line at Denver when we played in London,
yes,
several weeks ago, I think was a little bit of a wake-up call or a bell that rung in his head that says, listen, I've got to do a better job of protecting the football. You're hurting the football team and putting the team in harm's way like that. I just think that was a play that, one, he would like to have back, but I really think it put him on a trajectory or a path that he's on right now. And sometimes it takes a play like that or a moment like that for, young players to understand just how to play this game. And since that point, he's really done an outstanding job of just, taking care of the ball, executing the offense, and really dispersing the football where it needs to be.
And then what about locker room, film room? You got a good story where you're like, okay, check those boxes. What do you got for me on that front, Doug Pederson?
This guy, he I think with a lot of young players in this league, teaching them how to watch tape is important, and as coaches, we got to show guys how to watch tape. And having a guy like C.J. Beathard as a backup, a veteran quarterback, has been a huge help to Trevor in that regard. So you're seeing him, get with Luke Fortner in the offensive line, watch tape. You're seeing him get with the quarterbacks and watch tape. Getting with the skill position players during the week and watching tape on their own outside of the coaches' meetings. And then he and I getting together on Thursday evenings, or him getting with Press Taylor, my offensive coordinator, during the week, and just kind of, pouring over the game plan and getting his thoughts and ideas. And it's just the maturity level that, for a young quarterback to show us is tells us that we have the right guy. And the effort and the amount of time that he puts into his study and preparation, and the communication that we have during the week and during games is just, again, it's just kind of second to none to, where I think where he's been and obviously where he's come from.
Doug Pederson, Jacksonville Jaguars head coach here on the Rich Eisen Show. And again, I know I asked you about your predecessor last time we spoke, and pages have been turned, but I haven't spoken to you since Andrew Wingard, safety on your team, mentioned your predecessor's name and how, with what happened last year, it was as if Trevor Lawrence did not have a rookie year, and then mentioned about you saying that he would die. Andrew Winter, quote, "I would die for Doug Pederson. I swear I would run into battle for Doug Pederson 100%. I love the guy." Talked about how the locker room was awesome. What did I assume you heard that? And me paraphrasing isn't the first time you've heard it. What did you think of when you heard that?
I mean, I love it when guys talk that way. I feel like that they've bought in, to me and to the staff and what I've brought here, and I love mixing it up with the players and being in there, showing that I'm equal. I'm not any bigger or greater than they are, and show that enthusiasm, show that I care about the player, and really. I think having been a player myself, you kind of understand how to deal with these guys, and it's definitely a different day and age now. But I think understanding and sort of changing my ways, my philosophies, maybe with the way I practice or meet or whatever it might be, that these guys are buying into that, and really I think just these guys just want to be coached. They want some honesty, they want some transparency, and they don't want a lot of fluff. And I've been able to sort of bring that to them. And a guy like Dewey, as we call him, to say that just tells me that these guys have bought in. They trust me. I trust them. And we go play games. And has it been perfect? No, it hasn't. Rich, but I do believe that this team is heading in the right direction. And we got 4 games remaining, this season, and we'll see what happens.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. Doug Pederson, you're coaching a team against the Dallas Cowboys in a big game in December.
You know what? We haven't heard it much around here lately.
But for you personally, though, I mean, it's amazing how the football gods work, right? I mean, you came up with a big win. You want to build on it. You got a shot. You never know in your division. And there's the Dallas friggin' Cowboys, man. That's pretty wild when you think about it.
It is. It's crazy. And this is what I'm teaching our football team here is how to win and how to have meaningful games in December and January. And we've put ourselves in a position to do just that. And I've challenged the team that way, and we're playing a great football team this weekend. They're 10-3. They're doing a great job, and obviously in the NFC East, and they're chasing the Eagles. And this team is explosive on offense, as we know. I'm 0-2 close probably to this team than most, but. We've got our work cut out for us. Fortunately for us, it's here in Duval County and right here in Jacksonville this weekend, and we're looking forward to to the opportunity.
Well, I mean, if you beat the Cowboys, Doug, and help Philadelphia in that regard, maybe they'll build another statue, call it the Jacksonville Special or something like that outside the stadium. I might be overstating it.
Special, right? Wouldn't that be special?
I know that.
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, our guys are they're excited for the opportunity, and again, like I said, it's meaningful football games in December, and I think everybody wants to be there, and we just gotta have a great week of preparation.
I know McCarthy came, if I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to go in my head, just as you were departing, or I don't know if you coached against him, Philly and Dallas. I guess I should have professionally buttoned that up before even having a conversation with you. But is there any experience coaching against Dallas, Dak, Zeke, those guys that you can bring to bear this week for your team?
Yeah, just kind of knowing them and knowing their personnel a little bit. I mean, obviously, Micah Parsons is kind of new since I've coached last, but on offense, it's you still got to stop the run. You still Zeke and Pollard and these guys. I mean, you still got to stop the run, and then if you can't get a handle on that, you got the play action pass and the movement. Dak can beat you with his legs and his arms. So, it takes a full effort again on offense, and then defensively. I mean, this is a good group. This is one of the top defenses in the National Football League right now, and they're leading. I think if not leading, or one of the top teams with sacks in the league. And Micah Parsons is a special athlete and a special player, and even number 90 over there is a great player, and he can get after the passer. So work's cut out for us. Great opportunity, but again, if you want to be in the playoffs, you got to be able to play teams like this and see what happens.
Well, Coach, before I let you go, I know this is out of your bailiwick and your purview, but I'm going to mention it anyway because, I mean, you do represent the Jacksonville Jaguars here, and I've been around those parts for quite a bit. I know about the pool. I know about the old Jacksonville. I don't know what's going on with the new version of the mascot in spandex and a thong. I don't know what is happening. Do you know what's going on right now?
No, I thought when we played Baltimore the other day that might have been a distraction for them a little bit as he ran around the inner bowl. But
yes.
Yes. I mean,
I don't know what's going on. It did. I guess, whatever advantage you can have. Did you at any point during the game, or the guys just turn around and go, what's happening? I need to make a note of this and talk to the game operations? I don't know who's in charge of this, but I got to.
Well, I'm not in charge of that department, but there were a couple of photographs of our players in the end zone with him in the background. So we got some really good special effects going on with some of these pictures.
I don't know what's going on. It was definitely distracting to me watching it. So So just, I guess just find whoever in the flow chart there. Just say what's up for me and why. Those are the questions I have. Is what's up and why.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Okay. And then last one for you. I mean, you string some wins together here. Obviously, you got Dallas, and I know this. I'm talking to one game at a time type individual, but you got a quick turnaround Thursday night against the Jets. What a fascinating game that is. And then 2 division games at Houston and home for Tennessee. Do you openly talk to your guys if we string these 3 together? That last game, we're talking about meaningful games in January. That last game against Tennessee can be for something particularly significant. Do you openly say something like this, Coach?
I think at this part of the season, Rich, I think you have to have those conversations. You know, part of my job too is to keep our goals out in front of us. I think every team in this situation is doing the same thing. Coaches are saying, "Hey, listen, guys, our goals are right here in front of us," and you know, we just gotta do our part and take care of business, and you know, focus on us one game at a time, just like you mentioned. But yeah, I think it is something that the team needs to understand, and I think, quite frankly, here in Jacksonville, it's also part of our culture and trying to get things turned around and try to have a winning culture. If you're not talking about winning, then how do you win? You know, and so I feel like I've got to continue to put that out in front of our football team and see what happens here in this last month of the season.
I'd be remiss if I didn't, before letting you go, ask you about Mike Leach. I assume you've crossed paths with him? You know him or anything of that nature? And his passing at the age of 61. You got a good story on that front?
Yeah, I don't know him personally, but our paths did cross at a clinic actually, and had a chance to just kind of shake his hand and obviously my thoughts, prayers to the family, and what a tragic a tragic loss to not only to the football world, but to the people close to him and around him, and just again, my thoughts and prayers are with his family.
Yeah, all of us. Thanks for the time, Coach. Greatly appreciate it. Have fun. It doesn't look like you need me to say that. It does look like you're having fun, man. It really does.
I am. I'm having a great time. You know, this is a young football team, and they're keeping me young, so that's a good thing.
Very good. Take care of yourself, Coach. We'll chat again soon. Thanks again.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Rich.
Always a pleasure. That's the one and only Doug Pederson of the Jacksonville Jaguars here on the Rich Eisen Show. I love it. Got to talk about winning if you want to win. I kind of dig that. So many coaches are like, we got to go one at a time. You know, catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.